So, with the completion of Dream Drop Distance, I didn't get time to express my thoughts since I was in a live stream. But now that I have got time to alleviate my thoughts, what do I feel about Dream Drop Distance? What did I enjoy about it? What did I think was good about it? Much like the other games prior to this one, and the reaction of them, they're good. It's good. The combat's good, the gameplay is well made, to be honest. It's speedy, but it has that certain flair of it where it can be slowed down a bit. In all honesty, me completing it as you see on the screen now in under 30 hours on Proud Mode, when I have never played this game before on its second hardest difficulty, I should say, because when you beat the game on Proud Mode, or prior to, you unlock Critical Mode, and you're able to do the game again with the Dream Eaters you acquired or created from your previous playthrough into New Game Plus territory. Which basically means you get, most assuredly, all their abilities. Which is good, if you don't want to rush through the whole thing. And you start from level 1 again, and so on and so forth, blah blah blah. Which I would recommend probably doing, if you're going to do this game again. Which, we're not doing that right now. As of right now, I've completed Dream Drop Distance. And for a first-time playthrough, the gameplay is spectacular. If there's one thing I know people have a beef with, it's the drop mechanic. Now, I know that the person who watched my live stream actually does have a slight issue with the drop mechanic. And I'm not disagreeing with him. It could be better. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad mechanic, to say the least. You get it doesn't slow, it doesn't, let me point it out. It's not terrible in the fact that it could be just a bit more refined. But that's saying everything like the other games need to be more refined. They were made with an idea in mind, and it executed here and there. I mean, I get the idea behind the drop mechanic, because you're playing two characters, so they did that. So you're playing between Sora and Riku. Just like how in Chain of Memories, you were playing Sora first, and then you get to play Riku's side of the story. But in here, they're both going simultaneously, not separate. However, the idea of Dream Drop Distance between all of it is, it's basically Xehanort wanting to control Sora as a 13th vessel. Riku, Mickey, the Axel, Donald and Goofy somehow stop that from happening, otherwise we wouldn't get a continuation of the game. But let's bring up the story. So basically, from where Kingdom Hearts 2 left off, and partial Birth by Sleep, if you watch the secret episode from when I played it and beat it, Sora needs to help these people, but the only way he can do that is if he goes and learns how to be a master by going through this Mark of Mastery test, which is, how do I put it? It's a Mark of Mastery test, but it's more of a live feat test. It's not like Sora and Riku haven't actually earned their wings to be a master in their right, but they do not have the mark toward the mastery. That's why this is how it is. And once you complete the game and get to the point where basically Riku is announced as the new Keyblade Master, he is now the Keyblade Master. But I already know most people are like, well, Sora should have been Keyblade Master. He did all this. Well, that's the sad truth of this, is that Sora inadvertently got duped and had been interfered with Xehanort's meddling. Young Xehanort, old Xehanort, Terra Xehanort, Heartless and Nobody. That is 4 Xehanorts all in one, and I'm sitting here like, dang. So we have a lot going on. And most people say, this makes no sense. How does time travel work? So here's the thing. Time travel, for, as of right now, for Dream Drop Distance, before we go into a new one, is, a little odd and different than what Kingdom Hearts 2's time travel was. So in Kingdom Hearts 2, there were 2 doors that Sora sealed off one door, but the other one completely open to go to and from the world that was in Disney Castle. Or Disney Town. Or both. Either or. And with that, that actually put it only in that particular spot of copyright, Steamboat Willie's, world. And that's the only form of time travel that really doesn't alter anything, because that was meant to happen, apparently. So that is a circular time travel thing, mostly. It's a weird one, I know. Because Mickey, if he's in black and white, same as Donald and Goofy and everyone else in that one, except for Sora, he's the only oddball out of there. That would be like a circular time travel. Basically, this point A to point B, back to point A, is called a circle time travel, which is kinda what has happened with young Xehanort and old Xehanort and Xehanort's Heartless and Nobody. Terra Xehanort's Heartless and Nobody. Point is, that is what happened. So, what's the difference between that time travel of Kingdom Hearts 2 and the time travel here in Dream Drop Distance? Well, the thing about this time travel is that it was a set point for these characters to be able to go here in this timeline, to this point in this timeline, but once their mission was, basically they're on a time limit, so from them doing all of this, it kind of pushes them to this time, this point in time, and when their mission is kind of done, or kind of made this way, their time limit is up. So they did do what they were set out to, but their time limit to be here is kind of gone-ish? Because we know they're coming back in Kingdom Hearts 3. There's no denying that. And I'm sure anyone else who will say that is otherwise. But, I felt that, much like people who should play the games before basically just watching the cutscenes and going like, or literally skipping because they saw, wait, what? This is happening? What does any of this mean? So, let's go back to the time travel thing. Not the Kingdom Hearts 2 one, the DDD one. The Xehanort time travel mechanic here is basically how young Xehanort explained it. You have to have no body in order to travel back in time, which, here's the thing, the only thing that could do that is Terra Xehanort's Heartless. Not Terra Xehanort's body, which is Xemnas. Terra Xehanort's Heartless, which is Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, without the body look, went back to his younger self, explained it, but when that was done, went back to the timeline of Kingdom Hearts 1, partially. The things were happening before Kingdom Hearts 1, so time is a really odd commodity within the Kingdom Hearts franchise. And that's kind of how it got here. If you didn't understand that, Terra Xehanort ended up releasing his heart, becoming a Heartless, splitting off from his body in order to basically go back in time to tell his younger self. And how does his younger self know this? Well, the thing about this time travel mechanic is, your heart remembers. Your heart is the thing that remembers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do they keep using the term heart? Well, it's kind of a thing. The heart is hard to explain, but not unwarranted to understand. So, think of it like your being without your body. It's not like your actual heart. You need an actual heart in order to breathe, live, survive, have the blood pumping into your veins type of thing. But this one is more like a, let's call it your secondary, let's call it your will sort of thing. Because every character in Kingdom Hearts has a heart of their own making. What makes them, them. And as explained, nobodies eventually regain their own, or have their own heart, as it was explained by young Xehanort and the rest, because what was happening in Kingdom Hearts 2 wasn't to give them their own heart, but have Xehanort's nobody basically make 13 actual vessels, but with how what happened, kinda didn't go that way, so now we don't go down this route. Kinda stinks. So basically, Xehanort has to have a 13th vessel. It's an oddity there, because there's 12 vessels already, and we already saw 3 of Xehanort's forms: the Nobody, Xemnas, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, Xehanort himself, and his younger self. On top of Xigbar and Isa, that is 6 out of 13? So we have about... It's kind of an odd shot, but I do think that it's kind of a good story, to be honest. And I get where people are coming from. It makes no sense. None of it makes sense. Why is it making no sense? What did they do? Why is this so over the top? It's just like my reaction to Recoded. People mistook what the idea behind it was. I sat through Recoded. There were moments where I'm like, huh? It's selective amnesia with Mickey during that moment. But the thing is, as I'm sitting through here, Mickey kind of does have a connection to Terra, because he already met Terra Xehanort, but he never actually met Terra, but because Terra is connected to Ven and Aqua, he considers him a friend because of that. But he never actually met Terra back in Birth by Sleep, which is why everyone's going all up in arms over Mickey and blah blah blah. He didn't know Terra, yet why is he hiring to help Terra? Because, by proxy, he wants to help Ven and Aqua. But then there's also the problem that, Xehanort knows Aqua's in the realm of darkness, and Mickey didn't disguise that, which means something gone on there. And it seems Mickey knows where Aqua is. But it's confusing because in Recoded, he kind of didn't know where she was. So, bit of retconning here and there, but just to make the story move forward without bogging it down with too much information. I get it. Take some levity and brevity and all this stuff and blah blah blah, we get a story made. I can't blame Nomura, because it's a whole lot of junk to work with. It's a whole lot of story to work with. I think probably in original scripts for Birth by Sleep Recoded and Now, Mickey was supposed to meet with Terra, but because Terra was working in darkness, it didn't exactly work that way, so kind of a problem there. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't think Mickey never saw Terra before, because he's not actually surprised to see who Terra looks like. But he didn't know who Terra was up until RE coded, so it's a whole lot of rigmarole to just throw over things. Look, enjoy the story of the game for what it is, not for what it should have been. That's kind of why we're all basically saying, it has to make sense. All of it has to make sense. It has to go into this particular... I get it. But at the same time, if the story makes you feel something, then that's what it accomplished out to do for stories. It made you think, it made you feel. That is what Kingdom Hearts is doing. It's got that Disney magic mixed with the anime logic. Go figure. So, how do I want to round this off for Dream Drop Distance before we head into, as I said in my live stream, before we head into Damo 279, I gotta recheck that for a sec on the name. One moment. Yes, I'm doing this while I'm recording. Damo 279's fan dub of Part 1 of Union Cross. So, that'll be on Tuesday of next week, so kind of a thing. Now that I've got my thoughts out, what is my overall thoughts of Dream Drop Distance? What is my overall thoughts of all the other games before this? The story makes sense after having left it for 9 to 11 years. The story makes sense because I've grown. Because I actually have now sat through them and see the issues, and I see the good that the games are bringing up. At the time, most people go, what does any of this mean? What does any of it all entail and blah blah blah? Well, if you have not been sitting down, listening, and going through the games, but you still want to understand more, this is kind of where it sits. Dream Drop Distance was the point of, why is there a time travel mechanic? There was already a time travel mechanic back in Kingdom Hearts 2. This one's just a whole, hoops and shoots type of, rigmarole to time travel. It's kind of one of those things, you know. But to put in layman's terms, Dream Drop Distance is good. In gameplay, and in pulling the heartstrings of the story. And I get where people are like, Sora wasn't chosen by the Keyblade, but he doesn't care? Yeah, he wasn't chosen by the Keyblade, but the Keyblade chose him back in Kingdom Hearts 1. He doesn't care that whether or not he was chosen by the Keyblade, he still was given the chance to be a Keyblade wielder because of Riku's faults. And here's the thing, he is a Keyblade wielder. Strong one at that, by the way, but go figure. So, I guess that's it for this interlude. And I think I'll do this with other ones if I do live streams. I'm gonna upload, do this stuff, and basically have it that way. But I guess I'll see you guys in my next live stream for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which will be on February 11th at 9 o'clock at night Central Standard Time. So, I'll see you all till then. Until next time.